Grow Garden 2 has a ton of updates coming in, and in this video we're going to be discussing the 10 most important things we need to see in the game. I highly suggest you watch up until the end of this video because I'm also going to be showing y'all a lot of leaks that we have also gotten for what is to be coming into the game in the next few weeks. And if you do enjoy the video, all that I ask is that you subscribe. Thank you so much, and let's jump right into it. The first leak I want to show you guys is actually a brand new rarity coming into the game, and this is something that a lot of people have been suggesting. If we go to the seed shop, or to be honest, any shop inside the game, you'll see pretty much every single rarity. Right now, we have all the way up till super, and if you actually scroll up, the starting is obviously going to be common. In the most recent update, what the developers added was the limited type of rarity, and it's not so much a rarity, but just simply a timer letting you know what is going to be moving out of the game. Soon enough inside of the game, we're actually going to be getting things higher than super. Super is currently the best. That's the best thing you can also find in the auction and yada yada yada. You get the point. But when the game released, as you can see, we got this exclusive seed shop leaked, which doesn't actually just introduce one brand new rarity, which is the secret, but actually two of them. And as you can see, we got the exotic as well as the secret rarity. Now, they do say obviously this isn't going to be a carrot, like these are placeholder names for all of these things, and it's just a way to show things that are going to be coming into the game. From this shop, you can see it does all say it costs Robux. However, that once again, that's just temporary. It's not actually going to stay with that. And this is something we also saw in Grow Garden 1. As the developers continue to update the game, they introduce more rarities. Now, if we go ahead and take a look at the seed shop and see how many super rarities we have actually gotten 3 now. So we got the Moon Bloom, the Hypno Bloom, as well as the Dragon's Breath. And the Hypno Bloom was the newest thing that we've basically gotten. But in the last update, or I guess batch of updates, because they were releasing them 1 hour apart, you can see we did not get anything around that rarity. I mean, we got the Rocket Pop and the Fire Fern as the 2 brand new seeds, but none of these are actually that rarity. The Fire Fern is just simply the best one, which is a legendary, and you know, it's kind of dumb to get. I don't see why you would want to get this. Now, as you can see, before they actually introduced the Transcendent rarity in Grow a Garden 1, there was 4 base prismatic seeds in the game. You get the point. It's a similar situation here. It's very likely that we're probably going to get 1 more super seed, and then after that, we could possibly see the introduction of either the secret or exotic rarity. The next update idea that I actually have is one that's a little bit unique. I haven't really seen anybody talk about this except complain about the way that it currently is. And it was this suggestion right here in the Discord. Somebody said, make the weather events more common, make mutations stackable, or add more events to make them more frequently obtainable. It is almost impossible to get any mutations without playing for 12 plus hours. Now, I'm gonna be honest, it's honestly kind of disrespectful for the game to like make you stay in the game for 12 hours just to get a chance at some mutations once a weather event happens. So on the topic of that, it would be very nice if they actually implemented some gears inside of the game that allow you to attract mutations into your garden. If you actually remember, in Grow a Garden 1, we kind of had something like that. It was known as the Star Caller, and as you can see, this thing actually has the effect of attracting shooting stars during a meteor shower, which basically just give you a mutation. It would be really nice if we got this thing implemented into the game for mutations we currently have. For example, like a lightning rod. Imagine how cool that would be. You could even make that like a cosmetic that decays after a period of time. Who knows, bro? But it would be very nice to be able to actually attract mutations to your garden. That way you're not sitting there for hours upon hours praying that once a mutation event happens that you get a bunch of them. On the topic of mutations, the one thing that sucks about this game is you cannot stack mutations, which kind of ruins the point of how we remember Grow a Garden as you can see, Ghost Pepper, this has the frozen mutation. I will no longer be able to get anything else on it, so there's no point in me keeping it here other than to pick it up. I think what the developers should do is implement a way, either it could be like an upgrade system or something like that, that allows you to increase the cap of mutations on your plants. Matter of fact, you know how inside of the shop, when you actually press the view button for for plants, what if inside of this same menu you actually had the opportunity to upgrade your plant or your fruit, in which then it could stack more mutations onto it? It could have like a mastery system, and they could have this with like all of the plants inside of the game. It doesn't have to only be for the ones that are premium, but it's just a suggestion for us to be able to access it. I mean, after all, they do have this growing list, so like they could add an upgrading list section to that, since the growing list, after you like start out the game, you don't ever really look at that. But yeah, I would honestly love to be able to get at least a few more mutations on it. Like, even 1 or 2 more mutations, bro. That adds so much more entertainment into the game and gives you a reason to want to keep your plants, healthy. So that way they don't become, rotten or whatever it is. And also, things like gold and rainbow should not count as mutations. These things used to be considered variants of plants in Grow a Garden 1. In this game, they just went the simple route and consider them mutations, which I think is very weird. This next one is very important for all my mobile players and anybody who has a slow internet, because as you can see, this guy said for gag 2 may be added to where people can't steal from gardens while loading in the game, because I've seen some people who take a long time loading in and people stealing from them. This absolutely makes sense. And matter of fact, I would actually argue that the developers should make it to where you spawn inside of your garden every single time you load into the game, because sometimes they end up resetting the servers, and guess where you spawn, bro? You literally spawn right here outside. So anyone, if you're in a public server, anyone can just run into your garden, steal all of your hard work, and they're gone. That's it. That's literally it. So you should be protected from getting things stolen, especially while you're loading into the game. Come on now, that's a basic. Now, I really hope the developers of the game are watching this video, because these suggestions are things that not only you guys have suggested, but I've seen constantly work, not only when they added it in Grow a Garden 1, but in other games. So I really think it would make the game a whole lot better. The next update idea has to do with updates entirely. Like I mentioned earlier, when they actually released all of these things from the 4th of July crate all the way up to the Rocket Pop, they did it in a very weird way. First of all, I want to show you, this is what an update inside of Grow a Garden 1 looks like. This is the Grow a Garden summer event, and just as you can tell, it's quite a bunch of stuff. The unfortunate thing is, in Grow a Garden 2, we don't even get update logs like that. Not only that, the things that we have actually gotten leaks for, we actually don't end up seeing in the game. For example, this sun bloom. Like, shout out to whoever designed this, bro. That looks amazing. And look, they even had this idea of pair a sun bloom and a moon bloom to give your other fruits an eclipsed mutation chance. So, like, you can combine 2 plants to basically have a chance at a mutation, which I think is a really cool idea. So, shout out to this person. I love how somebody said they're never gonna see this through the AI dump, because they literally see everything in AI, but they did see it this time. But my point with this suggestion is that the developers really need to start communicating when the updates inside of the game are going to happen. While Grow a Garden has been holding a pretty consistent player count, it's very, very important for us to actually be able to have a good connection with the developers and be able to see them at least chatting with us right before the update comes out, kind of like we did with the admin abuses. And matter of fact, maybe Grow a Garden is kind of going down recently. As you can see, it's a little bit lower than it was like over here when it was hitting 600k. Obviously, the developers are trying to cater to the algorithm. That's why, for some reason, they don't want to announce it, but rather implement stuff throughout the week, which I completely understand if you want to add stuff throughout the week. But please, 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 at least have one big update near the weekend where we get some leaks for it and we know what to expect. And it comes out all at once, not 10 minutes apart like they did right here. The reason they're making you wait 10 minutes apart is because they're trying to sprinkle in content into the game. That way you stay in the game for over an hour just waiting for the stuff to get added in, which a lot of the times, I mean, from what we have gotten, it's been disappointing, bro. Like, why would the boombox crate be its own entire update? Oh, let's not mention the picture frame crate as well, because apparently we don't have enough crates in the game. Like, we've literally gotten more crates inside of this game than anything else. Now, this next suggestion I saw has to do with the guilds, and I really gotta say, I like it a lot, because as you know, guilds right now are kind of messy. The way it works is, I mean, you just have to get so lucky, and then you can join a guild, and guess what? People will still kick you out of that guild if you do not stay as high when the event is about to be done with, which, to be honest, I think is very scummy, and it just shouldn't be like that. It's not fun. So that's why I was very interested in this idea right here by Mr. Suz, and they said make guild competitions bracket based, not the entire game. Divide different guilds in brackets of 100 or 1000 so that many players have a chance to get pet/rewards instead of only exploiters and pay to wins. Also, this part's super important. Also, introduce a gauntlet system where guilds that place at the top of every event get promoted to a higher division to compete with people on the same level to ensure fairness. What this basically means is if your guild does very good, like exponentially better than most guilds do, then you will go against guilds that are also doing very good. So that way you still have a challenge, and also it gives the people who aren't as good in the game a chance. And to be honest, I think that's very fair. What the developers could do on top of that to make the value of the higher guilds more, the rewards that the higher guilds get, what they could do is simply just add like a tag right here saying what division they were in when they actually got the reward. I know this sounds maybe a little bit complicated to some of you guys, but the developers implementing something like this allows everybody inside of the game to be able to compete, no matter whether you're a pro, a noob. I mean, it could literally be your first day, and at least you'll have a chance to play. This next thing that I'm going to show you guys as an update idea is something that I half agree with, because the way it was in Grow Garden 1 was also pretty bad, but it is going to be a fix to a very big problem right now. Inside of the game, the only way to actually communicate with players in terms of trading is either you have to drop your item by pressing backspace on the floor and hope that they also do the same and, don't come steal your item, or you have to use the mailbox system, which then again is also another very risky option, because once you send something to someone, there is no thing that makes sure that you actually get something back. Like, for example, this guy right here in my mailbox keeps saying, please give me a dragon breath or ghost pepper. And guess what he sends me? All I get for this was a carrot seed, and he just is simply begging me for me to send him stuff. He does this with like 1,000 carrots at once, bro, which is so crazy because it not only fills up my entire mailbox, but I mean, if you're watching this video and you're him, bro, you're not getting a dragon's breath, man. So not only is the spam so bad in this, but it's also a very highly chance that people can scam you when you're trading. That's why I wanted to show this. Trading needs added. Scamming is crazy right now. People need a safe way to trade with each other without having to do all of this running around being worried if they're going to get scammed. This is the same issue Gag 1 had until everyone complained enough to the lame devs to add it. I gotta fully agree with the fact that if you're going to want players to trade, which by the way, they totally want everybody to trade. I mean, on their website, they literally have a whole trading chat. The devs have done more updates on here than inside of the game. And one of the things was the trading chat. As you can see, they literally have stuff in here for you to trade. However, trading doesn't work like this because you can get scammed through the mailbox. If they're going to implement a system like that, I think it's very important that you're actually guaranteed to get what you're trading for. That way nobody's getting scammed. They did kind of have a system like this before, where it was the traveling trader. Now, this never actually got implemented into the game, and there's still a chance that it may be getting worked on. However, that was basically supposed to let you to, look at an offering and accept it or deny it based on what it's requesting you. And I think that is honestly a whole lot more fair than the way it currently is in the game. It should not allow you to simply just get scammed. And also, once somebody gets scammed, I hope the developers realize that the chances of them wanting to keep playing your game are much, much lower. So that's probably not helping at all. On top of that, I think it would be a very nice feature if the developers added a system where inside of the game, it like sent you a notification at the bottom of your screen telling you when something rare stocks. For example, the super sprinklers that are in stock right there. I would love to be able to know that, there's a rare item in stock, especially while I'm in the game. I understand they don't want people knowing the entire stock after or without being in the game or predicting what's going to come in stock. Which, by the way, if you want to do that, my Discord server does exactly that. So make sure to join in. It tells you when the next item is going to stock, such as the super watering can coming in 37 minutes. But I would love to be able to know that something rare is inside of the seed shop while I'm still in the game. I see no harm in the developers letting players know that, and it only gives them the chance to buy it, especially while they're playing. Also, an idea I really liked was this one right here. Number 3 here says, add a vote kick system. If you can't do your jobs and manage the game, at least let us make the choice and not suffer for your negligence. What this person is asking is for when you actually join a game, and since, this game doesn't have the best anti-cheat, there's still a lot of exploiters, even though they're still slowly working on that. It would be nice to have a vote kick system. Like, you could type in /vote kick and then type in the player's username and actually have the opportunity of kicking whoever is exploiting in your game. That way not everybody's affected by them and they're not forced to leave the game instead. They could obviously place limits on this, like, hey, you can only vote kick someone every 5 minutes or whatever, but the developers know what they're doing. I also see something that's very important is being able to know how much your total inventory is worth before pressing sell inventory. Now, technically you can calculate this and knowing how much your daily deal is for your entire inventory, but I would love to be able to know how much my entire inventory is worth before I actually sell it rather than just one fruit. But overall, I just simply think we need more content in the game that is going to make it even more interesting. This game was very fun at the start, but then again, we were playing completely from scratch. And now we're here where we have tons of dragon breads and stuff like this. So, we just need more content to play through, man. More to have fun with, rather than just gears that allow us to combat other players. Because to be honest, as far as I know, most players either just sit in a VIP or they don't really steal at all. But I'm really interested in knowing what you guys think of all these suggestions, and comment down below if you have any suggestions of your own that hopefully the developers will be able to see if they watch this video. Until then, please hurry up and watch this video on the screen right here. I went ahead, picked them for you myself, and I really think you're gonna like it. But hey, you need to pick one quickly. This video is about to end, and until then, I'll see you in one of those videos. Subscribe.